All right, it says Diana mythology. Diana is the Roman goddess of the hunt, the moon, and nature associated with wild animals and woodland. She is equated with the Greek goddess Artemis and absorbed much of Artemis mythology early in Roman history, including a birth of the island of on the island of Delos to parents Jupiter and Latona, and a twin brother Apollo, like it said in Zondervan. Though she had an independent origin in Italy, right? And they got another story on her in Italy. You brothers can look that up. Diana was known as the virgin goddess of childbirth and woman. She was one of the three maiden goddesses, along with Minerva and Vesta, who swore never to marry. Oak groves and deer were especially sacred to her. Diana made up a triad with two other Roman deities, Ageria, the water nymph, her servant, and the assistant midwife, and Verbius, the woodland god. Let me see. Diana is revered in modern neo-pagan religions, including Roman neo-paganism, Stradria, and Wicca. From the medieval to the modern period, as folklore attached to her developed and was eventually adapted into neo-pagan religions, the mythology surrounding Diana grew to include a consort Lucifer and daughter Aradia. It says figures sometimes recognized by modern traditions. It said in the ancient, medieval, and modern period, Diana has been considered a triple deity merged with a goddess of the moon, Luna, Selene, and the underworld, usually Hecate. Right. So yeah. Um. So I'm gonna go ahead and go to the scriptures and see what happened during the time of Paul. This Acts chapter 19, verse 21. It says, after these things were ended, Paul proposed in the Spirit when he had passed through Macedonia and Achaia to go to Jerusalem, saying, after I have been there, I must also see Rome. So he sent unto Macedonia two of them that minister unto him, Timotheus and Erastus. But he himself stayed in Asia for a season. And the same time there arose no small stir about that way. For a certain man named Demetrius, a silversmith, which made silver shrines for Diana, brought no small gain unto the craftsmen. Right, so he was bringing in money. Whom he called together with the workmen of like occupation and said, sirs, ye know that by this craft we have our wealth. Moreover, ye see and hear that not alone at Ephesus, but almost throughout all Asia, this Paul had persuaded and turned away much people, saying that they be no gods which are made with hands. And that's exactly what we be saying when we be out there on the highways and byways, through the spirit of power about Shema Shai, condemning these people. Y'all worshiping false gods, man. So that not only this our craft is in danger to be set at naught, right? Because we know that these stores, they be preparing well in advance to worship these idols and promote all this Easter BS. And they make lots of money off of it. So that not only this our craft is in danger to be set at naught, but also the temple of the great goddess Diana should be despised, and her magnificence should be destroyed, whom all Asia and the world worship it. And when they heard these sayings, they were full of wrath and cried out, saying, great is Diana of the Ephesians. and and the whole city was filled with confusion. And having caught Gaius and Aristarchus, men of Macedonia, Paul's companions in trouble, they rushed with one accord into the theater. And when Paul would have entered unto the temple, the disciples suffered him not. All right, so they was persecuting the prophets back then. You know, they caught two of them. That was with Paul, two of Paul's companions, all because they wanted to worship idols. And certain of the chief of Asia, which were his friends, sent unto him, desiring him that he would not adventure himself into the theater. Some therefore cried one thing, and some another, for the assembly was confused, and the more part knew not wherefore they were come together. So a lot of them didn't even know what the hell they was out there for. And they drew this. All this is coming back. They drew, and that's what be happening when we be on the highways and byways. You know, and the Lord be having them big crowds and stuff, around us. A lot of people just don't be knowing what the hell be going on. They're just there for the entertainment because, we be going back and forth with a demon and stuff, Salakia. It says, and they drew Alexander out of the multitude, the Jews putting him forward, and Alexander beckoned with the hand and would have made his defense unto the people. But when they knew that he was a Jew, all with one voice about the space of 2 hours cried out, Great is Diana of the Ephesians. And when the town clerk had appeased the people, he said, Ye men of Ephesus, what man is there that knoweth not how that the city of the Ephesians is a worshiper of the great goddess Diana? So, they talking about city. You got the whole fucking world worshiping Easter in the time we're living in now. And of the image which fell down from Jupiter, which was Zeus, Diana's father. And all this mythology, a lot of this Greek mythology, all of the Greek mythology was made by Jakes, Israelites. It says, seeing then that these things cannot be spoken against, ye ought to be quiet and to do nothing rashly. For ye have brought hither these men which are neither robbers of churches, nor yet blasphemers of your goddess. Wherefore of Demetrius and the craftsmen which are with him have a matter against any man, the law is open. There are deputies. Let them implead one another. But if he inquire anything concerning other matters, it shall be determined in a lawful assembly. For we are in danger to be called in question for this day's uproar, there being no cause whereby we may give an account of this concourse. And when he had thus spoken, he dismissed the assembly. Right, man. So they've been they gonna persecute the prophets behind them want to worship idols. They did it in the past, and the Lord be delivering the prophets, because he be having these assemblies and stuff break up. So, but yeah, the next scripture is this one. That's one of the reasons why we went into captivity in the beginning. We sinned, worshipped idols, and the Lord punished us. Brought our enemies against us, took our land. We was at one point in time being blessed. Then the curses came upon us because of stuff like this. But now the Lord got a remnant coming back to him. This is Psalm chapter 106, verse 34. Psalm chapter 106, verse 34. They did not destroy the nations concerning whom the Lord commended them, but were mingled among the heathens and learned their works. And they served their idols, which were a snare unto them. Right. So eventually Israel started serving gods that became a snare unto them. And a lot of these gods were created by Israel. And that snare is them being put to death ultimately. Because that's what's going to happen. That's what's going to happen during this time. Them going to be put to death. You had all types of chaos coming to America. A lot of chaos happening around the world because of idol worship. It's Exodus chapter 20, verse 3. Thou shalt not have no other gods before me. Thou shalt not make unto thee any graven image, or any likeness of anything that is in the heaven above, or that is in the earth beneath, or that is in the water under the earth. Thou shalt not bow down thyself to them, nor serve them, for I, the Lord thy power, am a jealous power, visiting the iniquity of the fathers upon the children unto the third and fourth generation of them that hate me. Right, so the Lord gonna get his revenge. He's gonna start destroying Jacob them off behind this. That's why Jacob them down 90 days. Pretty soon it's gonna have something pop up, or such and such many people was killed, during Easter Sunday, But with that being said, all praise to Yahweh Shem Shai, Bashim Kakadash, double honors to the elders and apostles that rule well, and salutations to the brothers that's doing the truth and sincerity. Shalom.